This conference will now be recorded.
Aha. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the one and only never to be repeated February 16th, 2023 coaching call. Delighted to see you on here and a couple new faces. So, welcome. Hey, I'm going to do something a little bit different. In fact, I've never done this before on coaching call, and that is do a reprise of a training class that we have already completed. And I'm specifically talking about the class that we did on Sunday yesterday. It was a strange time. We did it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday. And apparently, that's not a great time to schedule a class. I think we only had 5 agents in the room, but the information was so powerful that I wanted to cast a wider net and remind everybody that there was another opportunity to get some details on it. So we're going to take just 10 or 15 minutes right up here at the front edge of the coaching call, so that if you weren't part of that, you can learn about the opportunity. And then we'll move on and do our regular coaching call agenda. Okay. So let me just first of all describe what Sunday is. And Sunday is spelled like an ice cream sundae, Sundae. So we always think they're bringing ice cream. They never have yet. I don't know what's up with that. I have to fix that. But Sunday is an as-is buyer, and we have relationships with other as-is buyers who come and talk to us on a regular basis. And if you're not familiar with that concept, it simply means that when there is a seller who doesn't want to go through the hassle of showings and open houses and things like that, or perhaps their home is not in show condition and they don't want to get it in show condition, or perhaps it's about to go under foreclosure, and they don't have time to market the home in the regular way. Perhaps the roof is bad or the foundation is bad and they don't have the money to make those repairs. So typically, when there is a distressed seller or a distressed property, and it could be either, it could be the person is under duress or the property is in bad shape. In either one of those situations, sellers will often consider a cash offer to just sell it quickly and be done with it. Sometimes that's their only option. So Sunday is one of those buyers. They work in that category of coming in and providing a cash offer quickly. The sellers can be out in as soon as 10 days. So they say, yeah, let's do it. 10 days later, they could be closing, or they can stretch it out. They can go as long as 2 months if they want. Okay. Now, let me tell you just a couple quick reasons why I think you should be excited about the opportunity to work with them. First of all, they are very aggressive. They are wanting to expand their market very, very quickly. In fact, Michael Cox, who is on the call with us, told us yesterday they don't even care about being profitable right now. They want to be within a few years, they want to have 50% of the as is market share across the country. So to do that, they're doing all kinds of crazy things that drive growth instead of profitability. And in fact, I saw one of them, Michael, on the website this morning. This wasn't even mentioned in class yesterday, that under certain circumstances, the referral fee is being doubled if you bring them a deal before March 31st.
That's
So
correct.
yeah, that was pretty shocking because it's a very generous referral fee anyway. Um, but what I wanted to do was expand your mind very quickly about these opportunities, because you may be thinking, hey, I only run across a distressed seller or a distressed property once every 2 or 3 years. So why would I even care to make this an important part of my business plan? Well, I want to share with you that you could actually generate multiple as is referral opportunities today. You don't have to wait until you stumble across somebody who is in a distressed situation. We already know who these people are. They tend to collect themselves into pools. And let me just share with you a few ways that you can find them. And then, Michael, you might want to jump in if you know some I'm not going to cover, but I just want to mention a few. One, you can go to Zillow and search under their buyer tab, and then you look at for sale by owners. and then you'll find all their FISBO listings, and you can search those just like you do on the MLS, by area, by price range, by property type. I did that this morning, and I just drew a little map around the Spring area, and I turned up 51 FISBO listings. Now, here, what would you do with a FISBO listing? And by the way, they actually give you not just the address and photos and all of that on a typical listing, they actually give you the seller's phone number. I don't know how much easier it could be. It's there in the listing. So you simply just call them up and say, hey, I understand that you are looking to sell your home. That's fantastic. I'm calling to offer my help to do that, and no charge. I'm not going to charge you any fees, but would it be okay? Could I just get your permission to bring you several cash offers within the next week? It really is that simple on your part. And then you make a connection to Michael. He reaches out to them, walks them through the process, and if and they will bring them. Michael will bring them several cash offers within the week. And if one of those gets purchased, you get a very generous referral fee. So there you go. You had right there 51 opportunities just in the Spring area, just with that one source. But imagine you could expand all throughout the Houston metro and find hundreds of those opportunities. Here's another, and I thought this was very interesting. They shared it yesterday. If you go into HAR, you know that you can search by status: active, sold, pending. There's also a status right at the bottom called coming soon. And does anybody know what they have recently expanded the coming soon period to? You know, when they put all these rules in place, you could only be coming soon for 14 days, no longer
It's
than that.
20, yeah, 21 now, I think.
That's exactly right. They've expanded it to 21 days. Well, keep in mind, it takes Sundae less than a week to bring multiple cash offers. So all you need to do is call the listing agent on the coming soon properties and say, hey, I understand that the sellers are getting the home ready to go on the market. I understand that you're the listing agent, and I'm not trying to interfere with that. But would it be okay if I spoke with your seller and we were able to bring you multiple cash offers within the week before the home even goes on the market? And if we are successful, if we bring you a cash offer that's attractive to your seller, you, as the listing agent, are going to be paid your full 3% listing commission. Would that be okay? How many listing agents would at least talk to their seller about that, right? Why wouldn't they? They're providing another opportunity, and there's no disadvantage whatsoever to the listing agent. So there's another way to do it. I did a search this morning on HAR for coming soon listings, and we learned yesterday at Sundae there is a sweet spot. They really want homes in the 150 to 450 price range. Well, I discovered how many. There are 180 coming soon listings on HAR right now in that price range. Isn't that incredible? There's 180 right now that we know of that we could reach out to. And we, again, have the phone number of the listing agent. So we don't have to do any kind of data scrapes or searching around trying to find phone numbers. Okay, so those are the two big pools that are we can easily jump into at any time. But just three other quick ideas. Drive-bys. You know, as you're going about your business, either personally or professionally showing homes, when you see a distressed property, you can certainly go knock on the door and just say, I wouldn't say I singled them out. Hey, I'm canvassing the neighborhood to see if any of the sellers in this area are interested in selling their home for cash without even putting it on the market, without having to go through the showing process. At absolutely no cost to you. Is that something that you would be interested in? And then if you don't get an answer on the door, if it's vacant, you can obviously get the address and then look up the owner's contact information, get a name through the appraisal district website. So drive-bys, that's my number three. Number four, your own sellers. And this is even before that you have them under a listing contract. When you go out to sit at the kitchen table and have the conversation, you can say, look, we can do this wholesale or retail. Here's retail. Here's what the process is. Here's what the cost is. Here's what the expected timetable is. Or we can go wholesale and I can have you multiple cash offers within the week. Or you know what? We could do both. We can let's go ahead and sign the listing agreement. Let's plan. It's going to take us a little while anyway, right, to get the home in show condition, to get our photographs. While we're doing that, while we're in coming soon status, let's go ahead and get some cash offers in. Would that be okay? Again, it doesn't cost them anything to do that, and it may greatly simplify the process for you, and you still get, with that listing agreement in place, you get the full 3% commission. Make sense? Are y'all excited about this already? I'm excited about this. Okay, let me share with you one more idea. This would be number 5, and that is social media posts. There's nothing that says that you can't go onto your own Facebook and Instagram and say, hey, I am now working with an as-is buyer who is actively looking for properties in the Houston metro area. And what that means is if you're at all interested in selling your home, I can bring you a number of cash offers before the end of the week at no cost to you. Would you at least like to know what your house could sell for and you could close in as quick as 10 days? Would that be of interest to you? You could make a pitch like that, and given that most of you have like 35,000 Facebook friends, okay, all right, I know there's a 5,000 limit, but most of y'all have quite a few Facebook friends. Most of them live in houses. Most of them own those houses. And there's a certain percentage of them at any given time who would be interested in a cash offer. You don't know who they are necessarily, but if you just cast a wide net, you may catch a fish or two. Okay? All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you. The numbers are pretty awesome. I shared with you a couple times. If you have the listing agreement, you can get the full 3%. If it's listed by someone else, you're going to get a referral fee, which typically is about $5,000. That's quite a significant referral fee. And now through the end of March on your first one, they're going to double that, so about $10,000. So I mentioned in the email that I sent out this morning that an agent could make a 6-figure income in the next 12 months just by bird dogging properties for Sundae. So if your business is blowing and going and you're at capacity right now and you can't take on any new lead sources, then maybe this is not the right opportunity for you. But if you're looking to grow your business and you have the capacity to add another channel of new income, another stream of income, if I was trying to build a real estate sales business right now, this is what I would be focusing on. I think this is a path to quick money, and it is an answer to the problems that many, many sellers have. Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to share with you. That's the info. Are there any questions? It looks like Shanae Knighton has also joined us. Shanae and Michael are both with Sundae. They were both here yesterday. They both agreed on short notice to log in and join us this morning. And I told them we're only going to spend 10 to 15 minutes on this, and it looks like I've already taken 14 minutes. So we're not going to belabor it, but does anybody want to raise their hand and have a question about what I've shared with you? Yes, Carol, go ahead.
I had a quick question on you started, and when you started the whole meeting this morning, my speaker was not working, and so could you just go back to the Zoom and FISBO, what you just said about that real quick?
So what I was saying about Zillow is a
Oh,
source of FISBOs, which is a prospect pool for Sunday. You just log into Zillow, hit the buy, use buy, sell, there's different options, rent, hit buy, then select for sale by owner, and then you can search like MLS style and identify sellers in this area who clearly, almost every FISBO is motivated by a financial concern. They don't think necessarily they have the money to pay commissions, or they think they're smarter than real estate agents. They are.
mhm.
Oh, if you go in and you say to them, "Hey, can I just bring you 4 or 5 cash offers by the end of the week?" Would that be okay if it doesn't cost you anything and you can continue to market the property for sale by yourself? What are they going to say? I can tell you, they're going to say yes. So that was my point about Zillow Fisbo. All right.
And a
Anybody else
point
have any
there
questions?
too.
Yeah, Michael.
Sorry, Frank. You mentioned the for rent by owners too. A lot of times we will have frustrated landlords that don't really want to be a landlord, and we
Yes.
will buy with tenants in place.
Yes.
So we'll do the transaction. The tenants never have to move out. Once their lease agreement is up, there would just be a new tenant or a new owner. So that'd be another
Yes.
to go as well.
Yeah, since many of the buyers of these properties are investors, the property is even more attractive to them when there is a tenant in place. There's no lapse in
Absolutely.
income. So, by the way, I mentioned in my email this morning this former Abbey agent who sold 45 homes with Sunday last year. That was Michael Cox. That's
My
the
rock
guy.
star over there.
So if he looks a little familiar to you, that's why. All right, Kirsten, looks like you got your mic on. Did you have a question?
Nope, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. Well, how about Kathy? I see you've got your mic on and Dakota. Is that an accident or
Yes.
did y'all want to jump in here? Go ahead.
No, I have a question. I hate that I missed yesterday's meeting. I'm normally always there, but I have a question. How could we get in contact with Michael?
Yeah. So, Michael, what I would suggest if in the chat, if you would put your contact information in there, that way there will be a record, and even on the recorded version, it'll be available.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And Michael is our local contact. Shanae works out of Dallas. Pray for her. Um, up in the barren Northlands. But she is, I think, responsible for even over our area. So we're happy to have her on board. Let's see. Dakota, did you have a question? Okay. All right. That was an open mic. Anybody else? Okay. In that case, Michael or Shanae, thank you both for joining us. Did either of you have a final comment? Did I miss something big that we should have said that would be of value to us? Shanae?
I'm appreciative of you guys really just taking the time to listen and give a different perspective to an industry that is growing and evolving. I think that it's really important to understand that the worlds of real estate will never change from real, true humans being in front of you. I came from Zillow before I came to Sunday with the Zillow Offers program. So I'm very familiar with the Zillow's the devil analogy. Even to this day, still hear it.
Yeah.
And even with Sunday, because our model is very similar, it's a partnership, right? Zillow's never at that time, and even with Sunday, we're not looking to take your business, we're looking to help your business. And the sooner we are able to really have agents like yourselves help us share that same sentiment, the easier it will be for others that need this type of assistance from your sellers to yourself. So it's definitely a way to grow your business and a way to bring additional income to you that is not so hard to get as a traditional agent. So these type of
Hmm.
platforms actually really, 10x your business if you use it the right way. So we look forward to partnering with you guys, and we are here and available for anything that you need from us. And we're looking forward to a very fruitful relationship and helping you guys make some money. Help us help
Yes.
you.
All right, Shanae, I really appreciate that. Michael, thank you for being on. You'll see that Michael's contact info is in the chat. They also have a lot of resources online at sunday.com. So appreciate you guys checking it out. All right, Shanae, Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
Thank you
Frank.
Have a
both.
Shanae, can
fabulous
you
day.
provide us with your information as well?
Are you talking about
Absolutely.
Shanae? All right, Shanae, type
Yes.
that in there.
Here you go.
I
I'll
guess
throw that
somebody.
in and then I'll
Yeah,
get out of your hair. There you
she's a
go.
little nicer than Mike, so maybe I understand if y'all want to reach out to
I'm
her.
nice, Frank.
So, by the way, this is kind of funny. Mike and I reconnected last fall when both of our wives were having foot surgery at the same time. And Michael and I were both in the waiting room waiting on our wives. We're like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, that was
That,
so
that,
crazy.
yeah, opened the door for for this contact with Sunday,
It
which
was
we're
meant
very
to be,
excited about.
Frank.
It meant to be.
Love it.
Okay, sounds good. All
Thank
right,
you
so
for
we're
Okay.
going to
that.
turn the page. That was all about Sunday, but this is
Happy
Thursday,
listening.
9 a.m. coaching call. And so we want to just talk about anything that's on your mind. First of all, any big wins the last few days, new listings, big closings, funny client stories. What's going on in your business? Okay, Annie, I see that you want to say something. Go
Yes,
ahead.
I have two listings coming up, thank God. One is in Centerville. It's acreage with a cabin in the woods, so that'll be really
Wow.
nice. And the other one's
Yes.
going to be in LaPorte. It's a residential property on 2 lots. So I have yet to go see that, but everything's coming up in March 1st. So God willing, I'll have two listings. So I'm
Okay,
excited.
well I'm excited for you, and can I just ask, because it's in my nature to ask these kind of questions, where did these sellers come from? What was the source of business?
It's the same seller. It's a previous boss manager of mine from my payroll
Okay,
days. And his dad passed away, so he is the heir, and he's gonna, liquidate both properties.
okay, very nice. So a sphere of influence lead.
Yes.
Imagine that. All right, Jennifer, I think your mic is on, and we're getting a lot of background noise, maybe, and for some reason I can't seem to mute you. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. And then Annie B, looks like your mic is on. Did you want to join the conversation?
Hey, I was just going to tell you guys, I am working with some buyers and we put an offer on a house that was on the market 4 days and it had 8 offers and went 40,000 above list price. So
Wow. Is
it's
it
still
2022?
out there.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. It's still out
Wow.
there. It was priced really well and it's in a neighborhood that doesn't have a lot come on the market, but I was shocked. And
Yes.
that's the
So
second time I've been involved with buyers where the house had multiple offers in the last few weeks.
Annie B, am I correct in surmising that maybe that was a Woodlands listing?
It is.
Yeah. So this is just a good learning point. The market is always uneven. And that's why you can't really pay a lot of attention to national statistics, state statistics, even HAR statistics, because those are averages and they are going to vary up and down by neighborhood and by community in order to reach that average. So the Woodlands is one of those communities that tends to be an island of safety in hard times and an opportunity load in good times. And so that's why I'm not surprised that there's still this eagerness for people to get into this area. And there will be other pockets like that all over the metro area. And that's why the game there is to get a listing, get the listing, because if it's in a highly desirable area, it's going to sell.
I have I had a listing go under contract in 4 days as well. But I also wanted to tell you I've had several sellers reach out who are from the Woodlands and have been kind of holding off because they didn't know where they'd go. And they're ready to move to Champions Forest. And they don't even know each other. This is just coincidence. But they've just decided the Woodlands has priced itself out of their means. And
Yes.
I just thought it was interesting that I had two different buyers say, let's look at Champions.
So
So
that
we
is
got
very
them.
interesting. Yeah, if you're not familiar with Champion Forest, it was the hot place for oil and gas executives to buy in the 70s and the 80s. They are beautiful homes, big homes, fell out of favor for a while because of the troubles down around the Willowbrook Mall area. But the neighborhoods have stayed nice. And there are some amazing values in there. And some of the homes are mansions. I mean, they are 7, 8, 9,000 square feet. and beautiful. It's got the old growth oak trees in there. So Champion Forest is a beautiful alternative to the prices that people are going to pay in the woodlands. So thanks for that reminder, Annie. Kathy Coleman, I think you were going to join the conversation.
Yes. So I have my first listing, and it's a duplex. Thank you. It's a duplex, and it's been a roller coaster.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I learned so much through this. So I'm praying and hoping that we just go ahead and close on the 16th of March, which I think we are. I think we're coming into agreement with everything and finalizing everything.
Okay.
So I will see by the end of the day. So
Okay. Well,
I'm
that's
praying.
30 days from now. So you have the listing and now it's under contract
Yes,
with
for the second
a
time.
March close. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And may I ask, Kathy, is the buyer an investor?
Yes.
Okay. How did I know that? Anybody? Wild guess, right? So
Multiple
who
doors.
buys who yeah, multiple doors. Who buys duplexes? Who buys fourplexes?
Right.
You know, even if the family's going to live in one side, they're buying so they can rent out the other side. So, in this case, you have the seller. Do you know if that seller has other investment properties? Because it was an investment for them as well.
Yes, he does. And he did say that he after this property gets sold, he wants to invest in another one. So I was like, cool. That's
There you
great.
go. That's what
I can
investors
help you
do.
with that. Yep.
That's what they do. They sell one to buy another. And in fact, they have to buy another within 45 days or they're going to be stung on taxes on the
Hmm.
sale of that property. So they've got to do a 1031 exchange. So that's why investors are such a lucrative source of business because they are forced by the IRS. When they sell, they have to purchase. It's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
All right. Congratulations, Kathy. Annie,
Thank you.
Polo, were you going to make another comment? No? Okay.
Just on the 1031 exchange, that would be the best scenario for that seller.
Yes, that's exactly right. To protect the gains. Okay. Love it. Anybody hosting an open house this weekend? Oh man. Do you know what's a very lucrative source of business when buyers are active? Hmm. How
I
about
I
mean,
open
I have
houses?
done some. I
I'm
have
doing
done
an
some
open
open
house.
houses, but it's so slow. Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
so
Go ahead.
That's all right. So Kathy, you said you're doing open houses, but they're slow. Is that what you said?
Yes. At first, like a couple of months ago, I had a lot of traffic, but now it's just like dead. I don't know what else to do.
Oh, see, I would have said just the opposite. So you're saying in December you were getting a lot of traffic, but now in
Yeah.
February people aren't
Mm-hmm.
coming? Wow,
Nope.
that's a break in the space-time continuum right there. There's something wrong. Um, there are buyers active in the market, and I'm hearing from other agents that they're getting good foot traffic. Annie, are you having some open house experiences recently you can share with us? Annie B?
Um, I had an open house and it was steady, but it was the first weekend and it seems like first weekends are always busy and then it just tapers off.
Yes.
But I'm doing open houses, even though I usually do my own open houses for my own listings. I have a house in my neighborhood, which is my farm, that is
Yes.
being listed by someone else, but I'm going to host it just because I want to be in the middle of it, even though I didn't get the listing. So I'm hosting an open house this weekend.
Yes. No, that is so smart. I heard you say that you're promoting it, I presume on social media, but you're hosting an open house at the other agent's listing. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's right down the street from me, and I
I
just
love it.
love having being there when people walk in to tell them about the neighborhood and be
Yes.
passionate about it. And
Yes. So does anybody, wild guess, anybody wants to jump in on this? What is the most powerful marketing pitch that you can make to obtain listings in your geo farm? What can you say about yourself that's going to cause homeowners to say, I want you to list my house. I choose you. What would that message be?
I
Annie
live here,
Polo?
I play here, I know everything about it, so I'm the neighborhood expert.
Yeah, that is your marketing motif. Absolutely. You have to have that message out there. But there is something even more powerful that you can say. Nobody wants to jump in and try? Okay, that means we're all going to learn something. Okay. This is the single most powerful message that you can say to a potential seller in your geo farm. I bring more buyers into this neighborhood than any other real estate agent. I represent more buyers purchasing in this neighborhood than any other real estate agent. So if you want to sell your home, doesn't it make sense to list with the agent who has the buyers? And that's why it is so important to do what Annie B is doing. Even if you don't have the listing, you want to put on a full court press to get the buyer so that you're part of that transaction and you're on the buy side. And the other thing that you can do, so absolutely you want to do this. The other thing you want to do is run core property boosts on every listing that comes up in your geo farm, whether it's your listing or not, because that's going to generate buyer prospects for the neighborhood. And if even if they don't come and purchase that house that they respond to, the house that's advertised, now we know these are people who are looking in this area for homes in this price range, matching this criteria. And if there's nothing else on the market right now that matches that, well, that's the perfect opportunity to send out the postcard to the neighborhood and have a picture of the family. The Smith family so eager to move into Apple Valley, but there's no home on the market right now that matches what they're looking for. If you've considered selling your home anytime in the next year, I may already have your buyer. Such a powerful listing tool. So don't ever be put off by the fact that somebody else has the listing. If they'll cooperate with you, you do the open house. And even if they don't cooperate with you in that regard, start marketing the property. All right, Cy, you sound eager to get in on this discussion. What would you like to add? Cy Hartfield, we see you there. Okay. All right, I'm going to mute her. All right, Cy, now you'll have to unmute yourself. All right, anybody else? What's going on in your business that we can talk about that would be helpful to everybody? Good, bad, otherwise. Difficult clients, new opportunities you're not sure how to exploit. What's going on? Carol Hughes, give us an update on your ambitions of building a real estate team.
So we're working with a lot of the people that are coming to the meetings that Jessica had put together on the 28th of January, and then we're doing it again in
Yes.
2 more months, I think. And so we've been working with a couple of agents, and actually today I will be coming to the Abbey office to meet with Jennifer Trindle to hire her on my team. So I'm really
Really?
excited about that. We're growing our team in order to just have more of a presence as the Hughes Home Team, I think, and just getting our words out there, our name out there, and our talents out there.
That's
So we're really
fantastic.
excited.
And so how many agents are on your team right now?
Right now we have 5, soon to be 6,
Okay,
hopefully today.
wow. Wow. Very aggressive. Yeah, I spoke with an agent earlier this morning who shall remain unnamed, and not with EXP currently, not on the Abbey team. And she mentioned that she'd had a conversation with you, Carol, about joining your team. So, so you're apparently casting a very wide net and reaching a lot of people with that opportunity.
Yeah, we're out there and just talking to people everywhere. I'm doing a lot of networking in my community. I'm doing a lot of networking at schools and just trying to get more people interested in it.
Yeah. Okay. Very, very good. And by the way, let me just clarify something. This seems to come up every time I talk to an agent about joining EXP and they're interested in being on a team. There are different levels of connection within the EXP organization, and you can be sponsored by one agent and be mentored by a second agent and be under a team leader third agent. Those don't all have to be the same. So just keep in mind, even if right now you're on the Abby team, perhaps you've been with us now for over a year, but you're interested in joining a team. We have many of our Abby team agents who are on the Franklin team, the Adam Olson team, some on the Carol Hughes team. You can join teams anywhere in Texas and still be connected to us as under sponsorship with the Abby team, but that doesn't mean these other opportunities are closed to you, not at all. And if you join another team, let's say the Franklin team, because they're always hiring, and it's an amazing opportunity, you're still part of our family and you still get the support and services that we provide. But if you're wanting to be part of a team environment, talk to Carol, talk to Adam, talk to Carrie Bond at Franklin team, because they can tee up some lead opportunities if you're struggling to get those on your own. Okay. All right. Kevin, thank you for joining us. Good to see that fedora. Makes me think all is
Thank
right with the
you.
world. Yeah, I was a little concerned the Earth was going to tip off its axis when you didn't log in this morning. What's up with you,
I'm
Kevin?
I'm I'm celebrating my birthday, and they took me to breakfast, so I couldn't get on the call till we finished breakfast. But all is, yes, indeed, all is well in the world.
Okay, very
Happy
good. Good to
birthday,
have you.
Kevin. Happy
Yes.
Yeah,
birthday.
it's so nice to be 21 again. I tell you what, if only I knew what I've forgotten or whatever.
Yeah.
They
All right.
Happy
Good deal.
birthday, Kevin.
Thank you guys. So listen, I went to Tom Ferry this week and it was really good. And so I'm if you thought I was full of it before, now I'm over full. And but it was a great event. And as Frank says, Tom has a tremendous ability to R&D from the best and synthesize a lot of different things. So he is not a one trick pony. He's got a lot
Yeah.
going on, and I'll look for opportunities to share some of that wisdom with everybody. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you go to the 2 hour or the full day, or how long was the
It was
meeting you were part
it
of?
was a it was a full day thing. He's calling it Roadshow, and it had my other buddy by the name of Dave Childers, who runs KCM, Keeping Current Matters, because it
Matters.
really
Yes.
matters that realtors keep current on the current affairs. And the good news for all of y'all is that Houston is literally set as one of the best real estate markets for the year ahead. That they look at a 2.9% growth in unit sales and a 4.5% price appreciation. And 4.5 may not seem much compared to the last 2 years, but keep in mind that some of the other cities that really kind of went go-go, some of them are actually having, I mean, Austin, I think they've gone negative, and some of the other markets have a downturn, and it affects the psyche of the market. So there's Houston, steady Eddie, growing like a champ, and
Yeah.
so it's all good.
Okay. That's awesome, Kevin. I appreciate that. Yeah. I often say that if you are determined to hire a coach, and many agents are, and those who do typically prosper. It's not a bad decision if you have the money up front to pay for it, and they typically, a good one will start around 500 a month. But if somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, who do you recommend?" Invariably, I say the Tom Ferry organization.
Yeah.
And I've been a certified coach in numerous other organizations, including the Brian Buffini Group, which I dearly love. I have such an affinity with his sphere marketing emphasis. But I think Tom Ferry has the most balanced, the most cutting edge strategies that are out there. So
Yeah.
any opportunity you get, even his free stuff, go to his website, tomferry.com, watch all of his free videos, go to these events when he's on the road. And if at some point you're like, you know what, I'm going to invest in my business, he should, and I don't even know what the numbers are because I can't keep up with them, but typically they will say something like, the typical Tom Ferry mentee, the agent, is investing $6,000-8,000 a year in coaching, but their average income is $362,000 a year. It's always some outrageous number. but it it's true. Otherwise, it wouldn't be on the internet. We know
He,
that.
he's
Um,
got big numbers and big guarantees that they will repay 7x your investment.
your
So if you're,
investment.
you know, but but I want to share something with I think guess we're all EXP on this call, and that is that if you want to do this coaching on the cheap, you pay me $100 a month, and we're going to have a call once a week, and I'm going to say to you, Annie, did you go on EXP World today, and what did you learn
Yeah,
for free on EXP World? And if you can't say it truthfully, then you owe me another 100, and you're going to get tired of giving me money really fast. But what I'm saying is, guys, we have the entire smorgasbord of talent out there on EXP World, on all domains, including attraction and revenue sharing. We've got it all right there. You simply need to get your tray and get in the buffet line and go and scoop up, because it's like being in college and you got a food pass. You still need to go to the dining hall and eat. And we've got EXP World, and it's waiting on us. And there's tremendous stuff, plus all the masterminds, plus the Kevin and Fred, plus everything else. Um, and so, yes, Tom's got it all, but so do we. Yeah.
yeah, that's a great reminder, Kevin, that our plate is already full. I had a conversation earlier this morning, in fact, just a few minutes before this call, with a former Abby agent who came with us to EXP and then left for the greener pastures that she saw. She called me today and said, Frank, why should I come back? I mean, she just teed it up for me. Why should I come
Yep.
back?
Yep.
And she initiated the conversation, and so I said, well, there's two reasons. One is everything EXP offers, and I just covered that briefly, and then I said there's everything EXP Plus offers, which is the Abby team,
Yep.
everything that we do in addition to everything you get there, and I kind of went that through that with her, and got to the end of the conversation. She says, well, I think I'm coming back, and
All right.
so I told her how to do that, and this is a really good, highly productive agent that many of us know and love. I'm not going to say anything until she officially makes the move back. I don't want to steal her thunder or put any undue pressure on her, but anyways, it was just really fun to hear this one who got lured away by greener pastures saying, you know what? I didn't even take full advantage of the EXP tools when I was there. I'm going to come back and jump in with
Right.
both feet. So, all right. Great reminder. What else is going on? Who haven't we heard from? Let's see. Velvet, Kirsten, Cy, Rochelle, Belinda. Any of y'all want to share what's happening, what's not happening, or anything we can help you with?
I've really enjoyed hearing everyone's listing and what they have going on in their business. So I was thinking I would love to share. I have a property in the National Forest on two sides. It's 3.1 acres. It was under contract and it just fell out of contract. So if you won't know anyone looking for a little getaway, it's a really peaceful, beautiful property. Yeah, I've got it.
And what is the size of the home and the price of the property, Velvet?
There is a one bedroom, one bath cabin on the home. There's a mobile home that's uninhabitable, but we have estimates to have it removed. It's 275,000 and the mineral rights convey.
Okay, gotcha. So you're paying for the little cabin, but mostly you're paying for the 3.5 acres surrounded by national forest. That's what it sounds like to me. Is that
Yes,
fair?
yes, because you can
Okay.
hunt off the property. It's right next to the motorbike trails and the hiking trails, and then half a mile from the lake. So lots of recreation to enjoy.
Oh
Are you
gosh.
talking up near Huntsville, or where is it?
It's in Montgomery
Okay.
County, off of 1375. So if you go up to New Waverly and head west, um,
Gotcha.
yeah, that part of the forest.
Gotcha. Kind
So
of
that's
near the
very
top of,
interesting.
yeah.
Velvet, I've always said that my, fantasy at some point is to have 30 acres, my little compound with a little fishing pond or a stream, and I can have gardens and honeybees. And basically, that's my refuge when it all goes down. I've got my safe space. But you know what would be better than having my own 30 acres? And this is the absolute truth, would be to have 3 acres surrounded by national forest.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right? So
Absolutely.
now, yeah, so now it's not my 30 acres, it's hundreds or thousands of acres that I don't have to pay taxes on. So I love that idea, Velvet. You're probably a year or two early for me to take advantage of that opportunity, but someday you'll look out there, you'll see somebody skulking through the woods in a coonskin cap, and you're going to wonder, I wonder if that's Frank, and it just might be.
Okay.
Just
I'll
might
count on it.
be. All right. Thanks, Velvet. Okay, all right. We are just right about at the end of the string here. Last comments. It looks like Belinda has posted a question. If anyone has a listing in the Katy area, I'm open to doing an open house. Very nice. If you guys want to learn more on social media, geofarming, and more, come check out training at Truly Title. Thank you for that, Carol. And then you'll see contact information on Shanae and Michael. We started out this session with me really pushing and promoting Sundae, and that was because I believe it could be a ticket to breakthrough for some of you guys and probably should be part of the business plan of every one of us. Okay, I think we're going to call it a wrap. Great having you guys here. I appreciate a lot of the new ones who've jumped on that we don't often see, and Kevin for making sure we see his pretty fedora before the end of the class this morning. Okay, all right. Love you guys. God bless you. Let me know anytime I can help. I'm here for you.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Frank.
you.
God bless y'all.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.